We strive to shape our future. All the pain, sweat and tears, the struggle of humanity over millennia. This blue orb hanging majestically in the heavens is our home, the great theatre where our story is told. Our battles fought and our fate determined. Through the ages, we have learned much, how to observe, discover and imagine. Each generation passing on its knowledge and building on the wisdom of those who came before. But as we grow, challenges arise. Our task remains unfinished. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. Those who dare, each and every second, to dream of what we could be. We contain great potential. It gives us strength and determination to face our fears, striding forward with a firmer step in the assurance of success. A great, unconquerable hope. When we see that, when we catch glimpses of it, passion is born.
I want to be an astronaut, and when I was 19 years old, I met the first British astronaut, Dr. Helen Sharman. I asked her what I needed to do to be an astronaut, and she told me to be an engineer. The world is changing at such a rate, and technology is advancing at the fastest rate that it's ever done. The aviation industry needs to make sure that we're ready for that. We need to predict what the world is going to look like and make sure that whatever we develop now will match that. As an aerodynamics and performance engineer, I look at future concepts and work out whether they're going to fly or not. And if they do fly, how well do they fly? How far do they fly? And what can we do to make them perform better? Most of my work is theoretical, calculating before it actually flies. However, calculation only gets you so far. You also have to test. We have wind tunnels on site so that we can test models of our future concepts and work out whether we were close to our calculations. What's exciting about my job is that I am creating the future, and I get to work on something that so few people in the world are ever going to be able to work on. One of the reasons I really enjoy engineering is because I get to leave a legacy, and in 100 years' time, people will look back and see what I put on this earth.
I'm an engineer and I'm an apprentice on the BT apprenticeship scheme. I've done 2 years so far and I've got another 2 to go. So I've worked on different projects such as the Champions League and the Premier League productions. Working on live TV is really exciting. I love knowing that millions of people are enjoying my work. I never thought engineering was a career for someone like me. I thought it was just men in overalls, especially outside. At BT, I learned what an engineer really is. Creative, a problem solver and a logical thinker. I find working in a team really stimulating. You get to bounce ideas off different people, or gaining other people's experiences, developing the team as well as developing yourself. I've been working on the Champions League and Premier League productions, making sure the content gets into your homes. For a football game, I get all the broadcast equipment ready so the on-site engineers can get the job done. Everyone has different roles and different responsibilities, but it all comes together to create a beautiful masterpiece at the end. Engineering affects our daily lives in countless ways. I get to work on projects that touch the lives of millions of people. It gives me such a thrill to know the public are enjoying it so much. I love being an engineer because I drive change. Engineering is for those who dare to dream bigger.
When I was a little girl, my perception of an engineer was a man wearing glasses, fixing computers, My parents were a bit surprised when I decided to pursue a career in technology or even computing and electronics. My dad in particular, because he kind of viewed it as a male's job, but that perception later changed. I studied A-level computing and electronics purely out of interest. I was the only girl in my class and I felt like I had to challenge myself all the time. All of my friends went on to apply to university, but I had no interest in studying any further and wanted to just get stuck into work. I felt as though I just wanted to kickstart my career, and luckily for me, the apprenticeship came about in Accenture. My role is to work with various clients and help them automate as much of their development processes as possible. It was very daunting for me at first. My college self would never have imagined that in a year's time I would be presenting in front of clients and stakeholders. Having both engineering skills and project management skills gives you an advantage in the industry because you not only understand the development side, but you also understand the business side. I spent a lot of time visiting schools and speaking to young girls about opportunities within technology. As a young girl, I didn't have that available to me. That's why it's important to inspire them and show them the opportunities that are available to them. I would like more young women to see software engineering as a career option. I think the next generation are smarter than ever, and they're going to be the ones to enable real change.
Sunderland was once a really busy and vibrant town. It had a thriving mining industry and a thriving shipbuilding industry. That changed when the mines closed and the shipyards shut down. Growing up, I hadn't really considered engineering and didn't know much about engineering at all. I travelled to Lesotho in South Africa, and it was there that I started thinking about careers that could make a difference to people's lives. The brilliant thing about civil engineering is that you can directly impact people's lives and change communities for the better. Northern Spire is a cable-stayed bridge with a 105-metre high pylon at its centre. This is a project that I really want to be involved with, as it's something that will directly benefit my hometown. It's a project that my children and grandchildren will be able to look at and say, that's Grandma's bridge, or Mummy built that. Seeing the bridge open and seeing pedestrians, cars, bicycles going across it, it's a very strange and surreal feeling after 3 years of building the thing. It's nice to see the bridge being used for the purpose it's intended and how well it works and how brilliant it looks as well. It isn't just a bog-standard road bridge, it's a really inspiring, tall, powerful and impactful structure. This is a message that Sunderland City Council are given, that Sunderland is open for business. The Northern Spire will act as a catalyst for change for this area, and in 10 years' time we'll have new businesses, new homes, new skills, new communities, and hopefully a whole new way of thinking with a total new attitude and perception of Sunderland as a city.
My goal is to write algorithms that teach themselves to achieve tasks. As someone that creates inventions, it's really important to be able to explore new ideas, explore new technologies, and bring them together to create a product. I work in a field called computer vision, where we're creating technology which enables computers to see and interpret the world just like humans do. It's important for me to do a job where I really feel like I'm helping to make people's lives better. And so I work on the research side, coming up with new ideas and new inventions. I find that world-leading scientists that I get to work with at 3M can bring so much, and we can create something that's significantly more impactful than what we can create on our own. The pace of technology is just increasing, and it's a really exciting space to be in because there's so many new things to learn. I think it's really exciting to be at this invention side where you can take knowledge from different fields and you can combine it together to create something that's new. It's really rewarding to see a piece of code that you've written actually helping people. Coding impacts all of our lives. It is a really exciting point because it's starting to have a real impact. It can be used in robotics, it can be used in healthcare, and it can be used in so many applications to impact people's lives and improve them for the better.
My parents' house is nearly 200 years old, and when I was growing up we suffered regular power cuts every winter. So from a young age I was very interested in becoming self-sustainable and not having to rely on somebody else to come and turn the power back on for us. Self-sustainability is very important for the future. We are using more and more electricity, so the more people that can be self-sustainable, the less of a strain that is on our electric network. Renewable energy is so important because it's the only way we can fill that gap as fossil fuels begin to diminish. I work for the Offshore Renewable Energy Catapult. We're at the forefront of innovation of offshore renewables. The exciting thing about renewable energies is the industry is still fairly new, so there's infinite possibilities within renewables alone. I've been working on some tidal energy development projects. It's never been done before to this scale. The research and the innovation and the creativity required to complete these projects is just so exciting. When you're working on a problem and you finally come up with a solution, it's just so exciting and it's just a huge sense of achievement and pride. Engineering to me is just the exploration of infinite possibilities. It's through engineering that we solve the world's problems. I want to achieve a sustainable future for our planet and the people living on it. Renewable energy will become the backbone of the UK's energy mix in the future, and I am so excited to be a part of that future.